Liverpool took on the daunting task of facing PSG at their home ground in the Champions League knockout round last night, which they came away victorious. After the game, Arne dubbed a player as the best in the world. We will look into this today as well as the rest of the fallout from our 1-0 win against PSG last night, whilst also going over all the latest news from the last 24 hours. Furthermore, we will go over our 5 biggest takeaways from the game last night. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, Ibrahima Konate was the subject of VAR scrutiny for his challenge on Bradley Barcola, but Paris Saint-Germain's sporting director was left furious after no red card or penalty was awarded. Liverpool faced a tough trip to the home of the League One leaders and were forced to suffer as the hosts piled on the pressure before Harvey Elliott landed a late blow for a 1-0 win. In the first half, an offside review ruled out what the hosts thought was the opener, but the big flashpoint, especially if you were PSG or Rio Ferdinand, was Konate's challenge on Barcola. In a show of physical strength and body positioning, Konate moved his fellow Frenchman off the ball with his forearm. It was a non-event for the referee, but VAR did review for a red card and penalty. Both were dismissed rightly, and it left PSG sporting director Luis Campos fuming in the tunnel at halftime, and footage brilliantly showed Virgil van Dijk shutting down his outburst. The exchange went as follows. Luis Campos shouted, "It's a red card or penalty." Van Dijk responded, "Come on man, it's not even a foul. Hey, it's not even a foul." Raising his voice, Campos continued, "It's a red card or penalty. It's a red card or penalty." His volume then escalated to what could be described as a scream. It's a red card or penalty in any football match. It was a no-nonsense retort from Van Dijk, clearly of no mind to entertain the cries from the PSG man as he made his way to the dressing room to regroup with his teammates. It was a fair challenge by Konate, and it only would have been another story if he had used his hands. You can only imagine Campos's head loss when Harvey Elliott scored to make it 1-0. The job, however, is only halfway done for Liverpool, but Wednesday's victory showcased another string to an already impressive bow. Asked directly about the performance of referee Davide Massa and the Konate incident by a French reporter, Slot said, "It's not easy for a referee in a game like this where the fans are so there for the home team. Apart from that one moment where you could argue if it's a red yes or no with Konate and Barcola, I didn't feel he was in favour of us or them. It was just a top referee that should be in a game like this. I think if the referee would have blown his whistle against Konate, the VAR would not have overturned it. Now, it was also clear for me they should not have overturned it, the no red card, because it was not clearly wrong. It is a big decision, that's true." Slot then held himself back, concluding, "No, I'm not going to say what I want to say. Let's keep it like this." Arne Slot has dubbed a player as the best in the world after Wednesday night's performance against PSG. Arne Slot may be facing a goalkeeping conundrum in the summer, but he made his feelings clear on Alisson after his unbelievable display in the 1-0 win over PSG. Though Harvey Elliott was the match winner, Alisson was undoubtedly man of the match as Liverpool came away with an unlikely victory in Paris. The Brazilian made 9 saves per FOTMOB, keeping out the equivalent of 2.26 goals based on XG, in a game that saw PSG fire 27 shots on goal and Liverpool only 2. It was a vital performance as the Reds pulled off a smash and grab triumph, and speaking to TNT Sports after the game, Slot underlined his admiration for his number 1. "I don't think I've worked with a goalkeeper that has played at this level, which is normal because he's the best in the world," he said. "I've had some very good players as a manager, but never had the best goalkeeper in the world, and that I think he is. He showed that today. I did experience once or twice that we had defended so much, but normally you come away then with a 1-0 loss, or 2-0, or 3-0. To come away with a win over here was probably a bit more than we deserved. Alisson's performance and Slot's comments come ahead of a strange summer for Liverpool's goalkeeping ranks, with the signing of Georgi Mamardashvili already finalised. The Georgian will arrive from Valencia at the end of the season, and the expectation is that Simon Kelleher will then move on. But Mamardashvili has made it clear he does not intend to join as a number 2. But there is little argument over who is the better goalkeeper at this stage, and Alisson served a timely reminder of his quality on Wednesday night. Slot is of the belief that Alisson is the world's best, and he is accurate in that assessment. No goalkeeper comes close when he is on such form. As Elliott put it after full time, "Without him, I don't know where we would be." Now, in this portion of the video, we will go over our 5 biggest takeaways from our 1-0 win over PSG. Liverpool suffered and then landed a low blow to Paris Saint-Germain to take a 1-0 advantage back to Anfield, and all eyes were rightly on Alisson's role in it all. Number 1. Reds pull off rare smash and grab. Thankfully, you don't see many games where Liverpool are dominated as comprehensively as they were by an impressive PSG here. The hosts claimed 70% of the possession, took 27 shots, and generated 1.82 expected goals over the course of a performance that surely merited an aggregate lead. Instead, it was the Reds with their 2 shots and 0.27 XG who somehow came away with the sort of win that can convince you your name is on the trophy. That is thanks to the fact that while they are more often than not the better team in any game, this group of players also possesses an incredible resilience that proves useful during those rare tough days at the office. And they showed that in spades in Paris to claim what should be considered one of the great results of this club's history in Europe. Number 2, Alisson's still the best in the business. Of course, when it's backs to the wall like this, you need not only a bit of luck, but also a world-class goalkeeper. And Liverpool arguably have the best of them all in Alisson Becker. The Brazilian made a ridiculous 9 saves here, keeping out a whopping 2.26 XGOT to keep Paris Saint-Germain at bay. And the best of those were surely stops from a deflected Kvicha Kvaratskhelia strike in the first half, and a curling Desire Dowie effort in the second. These were crucial moments that made a mockery of those early season suggestions that Alisson might be past his best. Number 3, Slot subs win the day again. If you were feeling harsh, you might say that PSG's dominance of the game showed Slot got things wrong with his selection and setup. But even if that is the case, you cannot overlook the fact that Liverpool's victory owed everything to the Dutchman's substitutions. Curtis Jones and Wataru Endo's introductions gave the Reds a foothold in the middle that they had lacked all evening, while Darwin Núñez offered a physical focal point that Diogo Jota could not replicate. And it doesn't get better than a sub coming on to score the winner with his very first touch, as Harvey Elliott did at the death here. Slot is consistently proving himself to be one of the best managers around at tweaking things from the bench, and he showed that quality again to grab a crucial European victory. Number 4, huge moment for Harvey Elliott. Even on an off night, Mohamed Salah is always good for a goal, and so it takes some guts for the manager to withdraw him. But even the Egyptian, who wants to play every minute, will have been delighted to see his replacement Elliott get the winning goal. It has been a tough season for the 21-year-old, who has struggled for minutes after returning from a foot injury sustained early in the campaign, playing just 508 minutes so far. However, he made the most of a rare opportunity here, and could let all the emotion out in celebrating a crucial goal that could go a long way to taking Liverpool to Champions League glory. Number 5. Anfield will be different. Clearly, if this performance is repeated in next week's second leg, then Liverpool are unlikely to get away with the clean sheet that would see them through. But it feels hugely unlikely that PSG will be able to replicate the effort seen tonight in the Anfield Cauldron. Not only will the atmosphere play a part in making the French champions worse, but it will also surely result in a better version of the Reds showing themselves. And if the hosts can get an early goal, then Luis Enrique's side will face a serious uphill battle to reach the quarterfinals. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool news. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.